In the wonderful and the precious name of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, it is indeed an honor and a privilege to be with you tonight. And tonight, we want to talk to you about conference, and we want to talk all things conference. So before we actually talk about conference, please let us know where you're joining in from. Please let us know. Please say hi, please greet us. We want to acknowledge you, we want to greet you, we want to know where you're tuning in from.
I'm going to share it on my page, sorry.
Okay, so we're dealing with conference things, so I'm excited. I'm really, really excited about what God is going to do even in this conference. So let us know where you're joining in from. Let us know, hey, Prophet Marvin, good to see you. Let us know where you're joining in from. We want to acknowledge you. We want to say hi. We want to talk to you about our Occupy conference, Occupy 21 conference. I know God is going to do some phenomenal things. I know that God is going to do some amazing things in your life. So guys, do us a favor, share this broadcast. We're not going to keep you long, but share this broadcast. Let somebody know we are live, because we want to talk to you about conference things. Before we talk about conference things, Prophet Ann, can you just share with us how your day has been, what you've been up to, and what's happening in the lead up and the preparation of conference?
Well, I just want to say hi firstly to Gershon and Evelyn from the Netherlands.
From Holland.
Hey.
Hey.
And Elton and Shams.
Yep.
EBF, our other family.
Our other family, EBF, that's right. Yes, we got Suzanne.
Hi, Cherish.
Yes, we got Suzanne all the way from Birmingham in the house. Hey, guys.
Mr. Oja.
We got Mr. Oja. Hey, Pastor Matt. And, yes, sir.
Okay, so my day, it's been busy.
Your week.
My week.
Yeah.
My week is always busy. But it was a good busy. So it was very daunting and exciting to be a bigger part of the planning this year for conference. And so shout out to all the women in ministry. Hey! We're doing it live. God has just been so good. Being stretched is not a bad thing. And, Pastor Phill has an ability. It's called deep end ministry. He just shoves you off into the deep end and then he says, swim. But it's been awesome. Today, one of the things we did is we hired a skip. We had so much broken furniture and just things that have just gotten past the expiry date, just all over the house, in cupboards and in the backyard. And we got the skip. And you know what? There was just something so
liberating.
Yes, about taking the junk and putting the junk out. Come on, you know what? And God uses everything to speak to you, right? So if you're watching animation, you know what? He'll talk to you through Finding Dory. And if you're cleaning, he'll talk to you while you're doing the washing. But putting the junk out, every time I put something in that skip, it was just like, you know what? I just really feel for our lives, we need to put some stuff out. And I'm not talking about the cutting ministry. I'm not talking about throwing away people left, right, and center. But I'm talking about certain things we've had in our space for a bit too long.
Come on.
Certain things that have just gone on a bit too long. That it stayed past its sell-by date.
Come on.
And so, you know what? For me, for conference, I don't want to go back to how it used to be. I don't want to go back to how I was a year or 2 years ago. I'm not that person anymore. I've got to move forward.
That's right.
So there's some stuff that got to get put out. We got to deal with some junk, stinking thinking, some stinking habits. You know what? Me first. I'm there, frontline. Virtually, frontline. I'm there first, I you know what? And I just believe that's what God's saying. We need to move forward. We need to just have a heart where we are saying, okay, God, what are you shining a spotlight on? I got to have a heart to hear what you're saying. And, I'm going to take it on board. So.
Yeah, that's such a powerful I didn't even, because, both Prophet Ann and I, we were busy today and, just getting rid of some stuff. And I was in work mode, I think Prophet Ann got the revelation. But it's so powerful, that revelation, because sometimes we can just be in work mode and not actually pay attention to what God is actually requiring of us. And I want to encourage you that even when you are in work mode, when you have your mind fixed on what you need to achieve, the successes you need to gain, and all the accolades that you need to get in life, never, never, never forget the nudging of the Holy Spirit. Never ever forget that God is calling you to a greater place, that God is calling you to more, that God is calling you to leave some stuff behind, that God is calling. In fact, I'm getting ready to travel soon. And in my travels over the years, Pastor Ann, I've come to realize that I've gotten gifts from every other nation, and I brought it home. But in bringing it home, what I found is that in fact, the most powerful mode of transport on the earth is an aeroplane. It's one of the most powerful modes of transport. And of course, with this powerful mode of transport, the aeroplane, even that has a weight limit. And of course, if you are overweight, you will get penalized. And how many of us are overweight in our journey with God? How many of us are overweight in our gifts and in our callings and in our expressions? And because you're overweight, when you're about to embark on your journey, you get penalized. And sometimes life is penalizing us because we are overweight. And because you're overweight, your inability to move where God needs you to move, or where the aeroplane is going to, it becomes a challenge. I want to encourage you today, get rid of the extra stuff that you picked up along the way, because God is spotlighting some things to get rid of in our life. And of course, it's not an easy process. We can sit here and we can give you all the advice, and we can give you all the wisdom, and we can say a lot of things. But I've come to realize that until you are actually walking in that, until you've actually broken through in that, you are just saying a lot of good words. We need believers that have overcome some stuff to speak into the realm of what people are going through. Otherwise, it's just purely head knowledge. And on that note, we are so excited. I'm Phill. This is my lovely wife, of course, and Vermeulen, and we are the senior leaders of my church family. And of course, we are grateful that every year we get to put on our annual conference. And last year we had an amazing time where we had conference online. The first, it was a pioneering step. It was something that was new to us. And of course, this year again, we decided, we're going to carry on with the conference. We're going to do what God has asked us and commissioned to do. And we're going to trust God again to meet online. And of course, last year has been phenomenal. And we had some powerful speakers last year that spoke into the very context of who we are, that set us up for what we are doing now. And, I want to encourage you, whatever you are doing, to make the time available to invest into your own future. Listen, we spend a lot of time in malls. We spend a lot of time on Netflix. We spend a lot of money here, there, and everywhere. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but sometimes one of the most valuable things is a spiritual inheritance, spiritual impartation, the word, and all of the lovely stuff that God gives to us. We don't invest it into our life. And I want to encourage you, I want to make an appeal to you to connect with us every night. From tomorrow night, this time, 7 o'clock. What is the time actually?
It's
7:05.
Yeah, so this time tomorrow.
Yeah, this time tomorrow
we kick off
conference. And won't you introduce our speakers?
Okay, so our first speaker is Pastor Randolph Bonnwell, and I have the awesome privilege of knowing him as my Sunday school teacher, as my Sunday school superintendent, as the elder in our church, as my word when I got saved years later, and I joined the worship team. He was the worship team leader. He was the elder in the church. And one of the most significant shifts that happened in my life that a lot of people who know me know I reference from time to time because it was so significant was he took us through the Possess the Land series, which was, I don't know, about 3 months every Tuesday, where it dealt with different things about forgiveness, inner healing, roots of bitterness, just things that are preventing you from walking, in the fullness of the, in an overcoming life. And that made a permanent mark within me. That healing that I received through that process allowed me, that inner healing was so necessary for me. I'd been through so much stuff. I think I was like, if no one responded to his altar call, I think he was guaranteed to have me. I cried every Tuesday because there was lots to leave at the foot of the cross. But you know what? That teaching and that time in the presence of the Lord allowed me to become whole so that I could embark on the different assignments that people have since enjoyed through my life, through the dance ministry, through other ministry. And so we are really, really looking forward to hearing what God has to say through the speakers. And one of the things Pastor Randolph said was that there needs to be principles in our life. We can't just be, event driven. There's got to be the principles of God established in our lives to carry us, between conferences, between events, between the high mountaintop moments. So I want you to come expectant tomorrow night to hear and really hear what God has to say through Pastor Randolph. I'm looking forward to that.
And then, of course, we have other speakers, namely Nathaniel Leon, who I've had the privilege of working with for a couple of years now. And, I've seen God literally transform that man's ministry. I've seen the power of God in his ministry. And, of course, we've traveled together. And he's obviously from Riverside, California. And we've had the privilege of doing ministry together, sharing platforms together. And the purity of what he carries is so rare. And I'm not drawn to hype. I'm not drawn to a lot of things. One of the characteristics of any gift I'm drawn to is the purity. And this is what I've seen in his heart. This is what I've seen in his ministry. This is what I've seen as fruit. And the revelation that he also walks in is phenomenal. And we hosted him in London last year.
January.
Yes, in January. And it was a phenomenal time. And we're looking forward to having him online. He's a preaching machine. He loves the glory and he loves the revival. Talking about revival and talking about the glory, I've come to know Prophetess Latonya Powers, who's also going to be one of our speakers at the conference, who, man, I tell you, that woman is a preaching machine. When it comes fire, when it comes to revival, when it comes to glory, you don't get better than those two, Nathaniel and Latonya. You don't get better than those two. They carriers of the glory, they carriers of revival, things that were dead in your ministry, things that were dead in your life. The Lord will literally begin to awaken those things in your life when you come into the vicinity and around those two gifts. So we are privileged to be hosting such anointed, such powerful, such amazing individuals in their own right. And we give God glory and we give God praise. Please, I appeal to you, 7 o'clock. Thursday, 7 o'clock, Friday, 7 p.m.
Time.
That's UK time, 7 p.m. That's 8 p.m. South African time. That's, I think it's 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be incredible. I know that there will be testimonies. And I'm not just saying that for, because it's a nice thing to say there will be testimonies and there will be this and there will be that. No, we have seen the fruit of their labor and we have seen the impact of their expression in our ministry. So what about the other speakers, Aaron?
So we have something very special on Saturday morning at 10:30 UK time, which is 11:30 South African time. I can't convert to the other time zones, but 10:30 UK time, we have Louis Wimbley with us, and he is a phenomenal teacher, and he just has such a way of bringing the perspectives of God into a current context. One of our value systems in my church is translating heaven into contemporary culture, and so our heart is not to is to try and take the truth of what God is saying, but to show its relevance in the current culture of today. And Louis Wimbley is amazing at doing that. I took so much away. I had to listen to his message twice from last conference. He did a teaching with us, with our leaders, on culture. I am still quoting him today on what he taught in terms of systems and culture. It's impacting our ministry. A year and a half later, those things are being implemented in our ministry. And so we have something really special on the Saturday morning. It is a leadership workshop. It will not be on Facebook. It will be on Zoom. It will be a closed workshop, but it is one not to be missed. It is seriously one. If you are serving in a house, if you are leading a team, if you are trying to receive, you're hearing vision, and you are one who has to take it and do something with it in the sphere that God has called you, then this is for you. If you want to know how to run better, how to serve better, how to deal with transitions better, he's going to be talking about hybrid leadership. He's going to be talking about grace and power gifts. And there's an opportunity to submit questions. I want you to inbox My Church London to say that you are interested in registering, and we will send you the Zoom information. And you will also have an opportunity to send us the questions that you have in terms of your sphere of where you serve and where you're operating and what you're dealing with in leadership and in the culture of the groups and the team dynamics. Louis Wimbley is amazing at that. He is actually the founder of Manifest, and he is part of NACAP, which is the Apostles and Prophetic Association in America. And so he has so much to offer, so much wisdom, so much insight, and really, this one is for your diary. Invest in yourself. I promise you, you invest in yourself and watch how God is going to give you language and strategies and tools to take what you carry and to do it differently to a higher standard. So I really want to invite you to that. Please inbox us. We don't want you to miss out. If you don't inbox My Church, at least private message either Pastor Phill or myself, and we will connect you. We don't want you to miss this. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah, and I always say this, that impartation will quantum leap you to your destiny. And what do I mean? Most times we struggle going through life and not having the correct language, not having the correct articulation, not having the correct tools to build what God has called us to build, because nobody has actually invested into what we are trying to build. In saying that, I've come to learn that when you get the right gifts in and the right people that can actually impart to you. And what I mean by impart is give you the knowledge, give you the wisdom, give you the information, and give you the tools and keys for you to build what you need to build and the how. And most times I've come to understand that the reason why there are delays is because we don't understand three fundamental questions. We don't understand our why, we don't understand our what, and we don't understand our how. I'll say that again. Most times ministry struggles stem from these three questions. We don't understand our what, our why, and our how. We don't understand these components. And what you're going to hear on Saturday morning is the what, the why, the how. In whatever capacity that God has called you to, whether you're a musician, whether you're a kids leader, whether you're an apostle, whether you're a prophet, whatever you are.
Or whether you're in the marketplace.
Or whether you're in the marketplace, whether you're building business, whatever it is, you've got to understand those three important questions. What, why, and how? Because this will literally simplify, clarify, and give you direction for you to move. And that is our heartbeat behind this conference. We don't just put on a conference for the sake of putting on a conference. You know, we can have a great time, we can have a wonderful time, but if there's no impartation and empowerment for you to go and do what you need to do, then I think we're just having a great time. Conference is more than just a great time. I'm reminded that when you study the Feast of Israel, the Feast of Israel had to come together in a convocation. A convocation is primarily a conference. They had to come together in a conference setting to get what God needed for them to get in those moments. And those feasts, we can remember the Feast of Unleavened Bread, the Feast of Trumpets, the Feast of Pentecost, and all of these feasts were designed around a convocation or a conference in our language today. So these conferences were always specific and they had an intention from God to the people. So we don't want you to miss the intention of God to you. We want you to bring your teams. We want you to get empowered. We want you to go away changed and to affect change around you, where you have the keys, the tools, whatever you need to build, okay? So do join us every night, 7 p.m. UK time. That's 8 p.m. South African time. That is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Please do not miss these moments. Don't forget, Thursday, Friday, 7 p.m. UK time, that's 8 p.m. South African time, and that is 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that is 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Then on Saturday evening and Sunday evening, we are starting at 6 p.m. So 6 p.m. UK time for Saturday, 7 p.m. South African time on Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, you don't want to miss this. It's going to be phenomenal. It's going to be great. Partner with us. Come and be a part of what God is doing. You know, maybe you don't have a local church. Maybe you every time we go live, you see us, you connect. That is because you were drawn to what God has given us. You were drawn to our expression. If you don't, listen to me, if you don't have a local church, then you need to connect with us. We're not promising you perfection, but we are committed to your destiny, and we are promising you that God will take you on a great adventure.
It's impressive how you can convert the time like that. I was just watching you thinking, how do you have all those numbers in your head? Yes, no, we're looking forward to it. We're not going to keep you any longer. Tomorrow this time, please join us on Facebook and YouTube. It's going to be phenomenal.
Yes.
God bless. Take care.
It'll be great. Good night. Have a great evening.
And please register for the leadership.
Yes,
register for the leadership.
Tell us more about how do we register for the leadership.
Email you or email me or inbox My Church London.
Email. When you say email, you mean inbox.
On Facebook. Inbox.
Inbox on
Yes,
Facebook.
I'm 40. I call inbox and email the same thing.
So inbox us on Facebook, and we will gladly add you to the Saturday morning.
Yes.
It's going to be great. God bless you. Have a great evening. I love you all.
Take care.
Bye.